Okay, Rita.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. So I am here with David Octavio Gandel. Oh my goodness, David Octavio Gandel. He is an Aspika ambassador, and so is he an Aspika ambassador. So today he did his third Aspika Talks, and he was asking me, Rita, what is next for Aspika? What is coming up for Aspika? So take it away.
You know, I am so excited to be part of the Aspika community. I feel like I am part of it. I feel like Rita brought me in at a time where I didn't know what the term neurodiverse meant. I've listened to all these terms now, and I catch myself watching shows or movies and listening to people talk about neurodiversity. And what I loved about what Aspika is doing is literally defining neurodiversity in such a way where I think a lot of us are looking at ourselves and finding out what is our gift. We actually have these little things or little gifts or imperfections that we think they're imperfections, but they're actually things that are great for us because it leads us to the things we love to do. And I found, from being a speaker or being a TV host or anything that I've done in my life, there's so many qualities that I find myself defining throughout the Aspika community, and especially all the new information, Rita, that you guys are putting into Aspika, into the website. I love the new article that just came out, the new press release, because it's really letting people know, hey, we are, I want to say leaders of this community, because they're defining things in such a way where I really feel everyone can see themselves in some way being part of neurodiverse community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, that word is not a new word. That word was created in the late 1980s, early 1990s by an Australian sociologist, Judy Singer. And she created that word to eliminate, to deviate, people associating autistics and dyslexics and on, the neurodivergent, as disabled, just placing labels on all these humans. At the end, we are all neurodivergents. We are all different. So that word kind of left us for a while. It was kind of controversial. And then Sienna Castellon, by the way, I forgot to mention this, Judy Singer is autistic. Okay, so then Sienna Castellon from England, about 7 or 8 years ago, no, less than that, came out with Neurodiversity Celebration Week. And that's when the terminology of neurodiversity just exploded. It was, a phenomenon. And I launched Aspika 4 years ago. And when I launched Aspika, I have told you the story before, it was just about finding a university for my son. It was just finding a university for my son, because Angelina, that's a neurotypical, and neurotypical, just to educate our audience, it's all of us that consider ourselves normal, whatever normal is, okay, in society. So Angelina, that's my daughter, that's a neurotypical. She was in 10th grade. She started receiving all these letters, acceptance letters from all of the universities you can possibly imagine. And Gabriel, that was under 12, a senior, graduating, not a single one.
12th
12th
Senior.
grader, senior, not a single letter of acceptance or invitation to any university. Okay, so imagine
A mom.
imagine a mom, imagine him. Gabriel is a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man. So David, that's how Aspika started. Just I told him, listen, we're going to find a university. There's got to be places out there that will accept you as you are and will educate you as they are, and you will find a career and learn it as you please. And that's how Aspika got started, just researching universities. Then we started researching jobs, and the rest is history.
Well, it is history, but it's the beginning of history because what I've learned in just the last year of being part of the community and learning more, and I feel like, you know, like attracts like, right? So it's like I'm attracting all these things about this community that I never really expected. And the good thing is I have Rita Hernandez that I can literally go to as a leader because she has done so much research and she has tried to be inclusive of so many people, but also defining it in such a way that I feel like when you say neurodivergent, you know what I think about? I think of like the DC and the Marvel universe. I think that the neurodivergent needs to be a movie. And it's all like all of our gifts are literally being revealed to this community because think of what she said. She said, I started with getting a university for my son. So one story of her son has blown up so big, global, that when we listen to Aspika talks, we're listening to Aspika talk in Europe, in Asia, all over the world now. And she says, David, I can't even control it. It has a mind of its own. Isn't that interesting? A mind of its own? And it's our mind that can take us anywhere. But if we are not able to place ourselves in a new world or in a new environment or a new atmosphere, we never get to learn about how beautiful other people's minds are. So think about that. But Rita, the interesting thing for me, I told you, I want to be so much a big part of whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you're doing, because what I love about you is that one is you're always giving me knowledge. And knowledge is power. And for me, I like to be educated on everything. And then I find I can tie my passion to what I love or what I'm educated about. And that's what I always feel about you. Every time I see you, I'm smiling, I'm excited because you do so many things. You travel the world. You do other things too. Aspika is just one part of the many, many things you do. And a lot of people know you from television and know you from production. But I think that your legacy is going to be this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, and when you talk about knowledge, it's interesting. You know, you're not going to believe this story, and there's other people here with us listening to this. But one of the most exciting things that has happened, if we want to talk about knowledge, is we have a lot of people writing in, just sharing their stories about how now in their 30s, in their 40s, even their 50s, they're getting diagnosed because they have always felt different. And they come back, they write back, and they say, David, you know, Rita, we were diagnosed with autism. Rita, we were diagnosed with dyslexia. So they understand, you know, who they really are, like Lisa was mentioning beforehand, which you all will see her soon in Aspika Talks. They found their voice, they found their purpose, and now they know who they really are and why all of these, you know, going to school didn't work out, why friends will leave them, why friends didn't understand them, why family didn't understand them. So now they know who they really, really are. And that is, you know, you asked me, what is one of the things, next things for Aspika? And it's the book.
Come on.
And it's the book. And the book is, you're all going to love it because I had an interview. And did I tell you this story?
No, you have not told me.
I haven't told
She's
you
been
this
traveling
story.
all over the world,
So,
and I'm like texting her, hey, where are you? It's always something exciting.
I had an interview from England, and it was these three lovely ladies, and they asked me the same question, Rita, what is next steps for Aspika? So I talked about a newscast, which will be happening soon, the first of its kind, and then a book. And they asked me to share the name of the book, and the name of the book is What If I Told You? What if I told you? What if I told you? So they asked, can you share more about what if I told you? And I said, yeah, what if I told you I was autistic? So what's next? And I'm guessing every neurodivergent out there is going to guess what's next. Oh, Rita, but you don't look autistic.
What is, yeah, how do you define autistic? So we define it in television as what they have showing us so far. We define it in articles, what people have shared with us. And that's why for me, I feel very privileged that for the last year I've been able to not only listen to what Rita has shared with me, but also she's opening a whole new world to me in terms, because I've been around people like Les Brown and all these other amazing speakers that have shared with us that they are dyslexic, that have shared with us that there are all these disabilities that they thought, but again, look at who they are. And this is why I say our story, your story, has so much power. It's just you got to learn how to define it. And I think the more knowledge that Rita is able to convey to us, to share with us, the more we're able to expand the speaker world or the neurodiverse world to let people see themselves. You know, Rita, it's funny, you were just saying that. I was thinking about when we talk about Latinos, we talk about African Americans, we talk about specific Latino cultures, Mexico or Puerto Rico, and we look at TV shows, we look at movies, and we say, I saw myself in that character.
Yeah.
So we're not that far. It's just that we're not talking about culture. We're talking about your mind. We're talking, and I believe your gifts. I believe that who you are, you're supposed to share it, because what you're going to do in this world is meaningful to so many people. Think of all the amazing engineers or scientists. They all had something that they were able to focus for so long that you and me probably wouldn't be able to do, but they did. And I think that, Rita, what you're doing, at least on me, you see the excitement.
Yeah.
I'm excited
No,
because I'm ready for you to reveal this whole new world that is going to be awesome.
David, it's very exciting when you see those letters, you know, coming in. You know, we got diagnosed and I'm dyslexic, you know, and we celebrate it. We celebrate it. And, you know, we were talking about the press release that came out this month, you know, autism awareness in some places, or autism acceptance. And Aspika.com, we celebrate being autistic every day, dyslexic every day, dyspraxic every day, among others. You know, it is what it is. And you need to celebrate yourself as you are. And that's the bottom line.
And learning about yourself, you know, by you watching, you know, all these amazing things that are coming out. Hopefully you see yourself in it, and it's not going to be letters, Rita. I'm going to tell you something new. It's going to be videos. There's going to be people that probably never expected to be in front of a camera. I've been a speaker my whole life. I just didn't have a testimony like I have today, but I was always a speaker in terms of motivation, athletics, or whatever. But it was interesting because everybody that I would ask for, they said, oh, I'd rather die than speak. I'd rather die than get on a mic. And you think about that now, but look how many people are on social media, these all platforms, right? Putting out videos. People that were scared to talk are now talking. Imagine what you're doing is you're opening a door for all these amazing neurodiverse community people to literally start saying, wait, I want to tell my story. I listened to that Aspika talk. I listened to that Aspika talk, and I relate to that. I saw Rita's interview because Rita is doing a lot more interviews now. This is not something she loves to do, right? Can I say that?
Yes, yes,
She
yes,
doesn't
you
like
can
to do
say
it,
that.
but she's doing it. So I'm excited because the wealth of knowledge that she has gathered just for the fact of starting Aspika talk, now it's just, you know, 100, 1,000,000 times more. And that's why I'm always excited when I get a minute to talk to her, because she's always all over the world. And I think that you're going to be shocked of the videos, documentaries, TV shows, movies that are going to come out, that all these amazing people are going to say, it started with Aspika Talks. Wow.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yes. And, you know, and if you join our community in LinkedIn, mostly in LinkedIn, I have seen this from other countries in Europe. We already see people saying, you know, I'm celebrating being actually autistic. That is the hashtag, actually autistic, actually dyslexic, and on and on. So we already see that in LinkedIn, Aspika LinkedIn. And, but then we now have somebody that's very well known globally. His Aspika talk is coming very soon, where he releases that he is a neurodivergent indeed.
So that's
I
coming
won't
soon.
say more about that because you all have to tune into the Aspika talks, but it's going to be shocking to a lot of people. A lot of people, and he talks about, his life growing up and how people saw him weird. And that is the word he uses. Me vieron extraño en español. They thought I was weird. So he recorded both in Spanish and in English. And it's going to be shocking to many, but a fantastic Aspika talk to listen to as well. Every story is so different. Everyone is just so different. There's more than 300 right now Aspika speakers. And I have to tell you, there's not a single story that's unique. I mean, they're all unique. They're all unique. They're all different. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say. They're all different situations, different countries, different lifestyles. It's just, I get very emotional when I talk about it, and a lot of neurodivergence as well, just sharing, and professional neurodivergence, just talking about how difficult their life was, and now they realize why it was difficult. They were the discovery period. That's how we like to call it in Aspika, the discovery period. It's tough, but it's refreshing, and it gives you power. Just like I said in my press release, when you don't mask, masking is very exhausting. When you don't mask, you're liberated. You become, full of power because you're not masking. You just don't care what people think about you. And that is fantastic. And we celebrate that in Aspika every single day, not masking. There's, you can always steam, and we all steam somehow. Steaming is something used in Aspika every day because you need to steam somehow. Okay? Whether you have to twist your hair or do a circle. It is okay to do it, but in Aspika, we just don't mask. We just don't mask. We are who we are, and that's the bottom line.
And I think when I listen to Rita, I'm thinking of basically what I kind of share with a lot of people is about owning your story. You have to really define it, and you have to organize it to understand who you are and what is it that you are passionate about or you feel you really like to do, right? And it's owning your story. And I think what Rita's doing, or I believe, more than think, I really see it now, what I have listened to and listened to her tell me about what other people have shared with her about the speaker talks, is really about other people understanding that they too have to own their story. It is when you own your story that you don't mask anymore. Is when you own your story that you really believe that this is okay. More than okay, this is your superpower. Or this will reveal why is it that you have these amazing gifts. Because they're not imperfections. It's actually a gift. It's just that we don't know how to use it, right? It's almost like when people come to you and said, I found out I am such and such, the first thing they think about is probably their past. Because they haven't really organized their whole story yet. But eventually they will own it, and they'll say, now I want to go do this because I know I can.
Oh, yes.
And there's a lot of people that can't because they don't have that superpower. And I think that the more inclusive that you are actually being and bringing in all these amazing speakers from all over the world, by the way, this is all over this is global. It's unbelievable when Rita calls me and says, I'm here and this is our next speaker. And it's because hopefully you see yourself in one of these people and say, wait, hold on. I have these little quirks or these little things or these little ideas, but eventually you figure out, wait, hold on, I can be part of something like that. And that's what I told you. I feel like we're all neurodiverse in some way. And I feel like everyone's going to come together at some point and give it the power of the voice, which is what I kind of share with everybody. You're doing it in your own way.
Yeah, absolutely. And lately, I've been going to so many universities, and I was telling Lisa the story beforehand that, and for me, it was very difficult to graduate. It was just so difficult to graduate. I've had the most amazing career. I've had so many blessings in my life. I mean, I cannot begin to say what a great life I've had, and I just couldn't pass my math classes. It was just, that's the bottom line. But it was not about me. It was about the people that were teaching me. So it's the bottom line is that we all think differently, and that's what we embrace in Aspika. That's what we celebrate in Aspika. But anyways, we are getting ready for our next Aspika speaker. This was just wonderful, David, to share these minutes with you. And
It's always a privilege because I don't get to see you that often.
yeah.
And to do this is really a
Yes.
privilege.
But we will have a full-blown interview. We're going to talk about my childhood, my son, the process, step by step, why Aspika was born, and how this became a global power. So thank you. Thank you for coming again, for your Aspika talk, for being an Aspika ambassador. I feel very blessed to have you.
Me too. Well, listen, make sure you're part of the Aspika community, not just for yourself, but for others, because you never know who's actually the superhero out there that is a part of the neurodiverse community. Again, for Rita Hernandez and myself, David Octavio Gandel, thank you for joining us just for a few minutes to talk about the amazing things that the community can do when they come together and share stories.
Muchas gracias.
Qué bueno, Eduardo. ¿Dónde está ahí? Oh, sí.
Espérese, vamos a quitarle esto.
Oh, Dios, Eduardo.